In this video, we will install the Clarasoft Foundation Server Development Framework on a Linux system. We must begin by downloading the CFS. The CFS is available for download on Clarasoft's GitHub repository. Open a web browser and type in the following address. Once at the Clarasoft repository, click on the Clarasoft Foundation Server link. On the next page, click on the folder named Linux. Then click on the folder named Install. Locate the link to a compressed archive named cfs-release-1.0.tar.gz. Click on this link. This will show a page with a download button. Click on the download button and this will download the archive in your downloads directory on your system. We now proceed with the installation. We will create an installation directory. The location of this directory can be anywhere in the file system. In this example, we create a directory named CFS under Home. To move the downloaded archive to the installation directory, right-click the archive and select Cut. Moving to the installation directory, right-click the directory and choose Paste. This will move the archive. We next extract the content of the archive in the installation directory by right-clicking the archive and choosing Extract Here. This creates a new directory named cfs-release-1.0. Inside this new directory, we see two folders and a makefile. The sources folder contains the CFS source files. The bin directory is empty for now, but will contain some programs after installation. We now proceed to install the CFS without SQL support. In a later section, we will show how to install with SQL support. In the extracted directory, there is a makefile. This file is used by the make utility to build the CFS from source and install the programs on the system. The make utility can be run from a terminal window. We open a terminal window by right-clicking the folder background and by choosing Open in Terminal. This opens a terminal with the extracted directory as its current directory. We can now run the make utility to build and install the CFS. For this, we need supervisor privilege, so we must sudo the call to make. On the command line, issue sudo make install. Once completed, the installation will have created a Clarasoft directory under usr include. This directory will hold the header files needed for building network applications with the CFS in the C language. Also, the installation created a directory under usr-lib. This new directory contains the CFS libraries needed to build and run applications that use the CFS. Some CFS programs require configuration parameters. These parameters may be held either in text files or in a database. If you want to use a database to store configurations, the CFS can work along PostgreSQL. An installation of PostgreSQL is therefore required. Also, the libpq.so shared library must be installed. See the PostgreSQL installation documentation on how to achieve this. If you have already installed the CFS, there is no need to reinstall it to add SQL support. Before updating the CFS for SQL support, a database has to be created in PostgreSQL. In the extraction directory, there is a folder named Sources. Inside this folder, there is another folder named SQL. Within, you will find an SQL script named cfsrepo-ddl.sql. This script will create the required database in PostgreSQL. You may copy the full path to this script. To create the database, open a terminal and type psql. This will bring up the PostgreSQL prompt. At the prompt, type \i, add a space, and copy the script path followed by a slash and the script name and press Enter. This will create a database named CFS repo. Inside this database, you will find the tables needed by the CFS. We now configure PostgreSQL to run in trust mode when using the CFS database. Trust mode makes it possible to use the database without having to provide a password. To achieve this, we must edit the pg_hba.conf file to specify trust authentication. The location of this file may be retrieved by issuing the following command. You can find the text of this command in the Clarasoft GitHub repository under the Linux/install folder. Locate a link named install-how-2.txt. Inside this file, locate the Installation with PostgreSQL Support section, and you will find the command. Running the command outputs the path to the pg_hba.conf file. Open the file in a text editor. For this, we need supervisor privilege. Make a copy of this file before editing it. We now insert the authentication rules for the CFS repo database. These authentication lines are also in the install-how-2.txt file in the GitHub repository. It is important that the authentication rules be placed in the proper order. PostgreSQL will examine each line in sequence until it finds one that matches the conditions under which the connection is requested. It is therefore recommended to put the CFS repo database configurations before lines that specify all under the database column. Copy the lines in the pg_hba.conf file and save it. We are ready to update the CFS for SQL support. Back at the extraction directory, we open a terminal. We need to run the make utility with supervisor privilege. This time, the make utility will specify update-with-SQL. This will rebuild the CFS libraries to add PostgreSQL capabilities in the CFS. The installation of the CFS is now complete.